Good, dude. Good job clicking on this video, dude. This one's gonna be a life changer. So what we're talking about here is the idea that a compelling riff is always going to represent that cyclical journey of leaving home only to return once again. If we don't respect that cyclical fundamental story, we're going to have a hard time engaging the listener. So when we're creating a riff, we want to establish a familiar place, a place to call home. So the exact right moment, we can contrast that familiar place to represent a place away from home. Like right there just sums up the fundamental nature of all riffs. So the binary tonal system is a way that we can identify the fundamental contrasting tonalities because there is a hierarchy, okay? And guess what the top of the hierarchy is? It's the major sixth against the minor sixth. Now this is heavy what I'm about to drop on you because once you understand the power of the sixth, it will change the way that you think about music, right? And you'll have this binary tonality perspective that you can wield at any time. It's not the only way to go, but you'll see that it does account for a lot of modern riffs in terms of how you can explain them. You can always explain them in this binary system. So on a basic level, we're really just talking about Dorian, which is a major sixth, against Aeolian, which is a minor sixth. We can look at so many riffs, dude. Tool, In Flames, dude. Obviously, Meshuggah, like Incubus, Deftones, Linkin Park. Dude, list goes on that one. I mean, like Eminem, like this one's like literally the classic. It's the pop thing, like pop, you know, like mainstream pop music, like blues, rock and roll, all the way into modern pop. It's all doing this. It's all Dorian and then going to Aeolian, also known as the 4 minor, dude. And there you go. There's back to the Beatles now, right? And like, this is the thing, man. This is the thing since the beginning. It's Dorian against Aeolian, right? It's the motion of the major sixth against the minor sixth. So like, literally just in context, right? Dorian major sixth. You hear it. You hear that Dorian, right, dude? As soon as I hit that minor six, I went somewhere else, dude. And guess what? I want to keep going because that's the difference, right? The major sixth is stable. That's why it's home base a lot of the times. The minor sixth is not stable. It wants to move. And guess where it goes back to? It goes back to implying the major sixth, right? Because it goes back to Dorian. Dorian implies the major sixth. So that's just like this classic progression right here. Like you literally, that one every single time, dude. So applying it to the riffs though, you hear exactly what I mean. Right? Home base, right? Watch it. The flat six, dude. I talk about it in every song, right? That's why I need to make a video. I'm thinking about binary tonality. That's what it is. Like every riff I've written in like every video has a thing where it goes to the flat six. And every time I get there, I go back home, right? And that's the point. I'm going away and I go back. And it's like, how do you play with that? Now you know what the goal is though, is the point. Like you have to know what you're doing, right? You're doing binary tonality. You're doing home away from home. That's what you're doing. Now that you know what you're doing, you can do it. Right? And you have to think about Dorian, man. Dorian's the keys to the kingdom. I gotta say, I keep meaning to bring up Holdsworth, dude. Holdsworth understood this, okay? Like, check out the way that he thinks about Dorian, dude. There's a guy who made a video, I'm gonna have to link it below, and I can't remember his name right now because it's like random as hell, but he made a 5-hour video, dude, about Holdsworth licks, and that is a gold mine, and that's really what shifted my whole way of thinking and being able to recognize what like pop music since the Beatles actually is. It's like 1 to 4 minor, back to 1. What's the characteristic note of 4 minor? It's happens to be the flat 6 of the key. So in the key of E flat, the 4 chord is away from home, but it's the minor third of the 4 chord that's characteristic. Right? But it's both notes. So it's the 4 chord, but also the minor third of the 4 chord, which happens to work perfectly in riff-based music where you're always playing 1-5-1. We talked about this, right? This voicing. So it's like not just the flat 6 you're playing the power chord of the flat 6. So in rock, it just destroys and kills. And that's why like Alice in Chains, Tool, Go, go, go. Hundreds of bands, like all the good ones. Our Last Night, dude, they totally fuck with the flat sixth, okay? So now that I've opened your eyes to the whole point of composing, let's actually go compose a flat six riff, just like the basic, essential, fundamental realities of how it works. And it's probably gonna pop off like gangbusters so violently, dude, your head will spin. All right, so let's get into computers, son!
All right, before we get into computers, we need to take a detour to the top of the mountain because I need to tell you a story. And it's the story of the prodigal musician. So the prodigal musician always has a passion for music and for creation, but life piles on its responsibilities, and the prodigal musician is forced to divert their focus away from creation. But inevitably, music calls its sons and daughters to return home. And this is what's happening to you right now. You are being called home. I've created the home. It's my online school called Systems for Creation. And it is for you because you are watching this video. You clicked on this video. That thumbnail and that title spoke to you. It was a dog whistle, make no mistake, but you heard it and you are here now. And that is your cue to return home. So once you join Systems for Creation, you instantly have access to all my exclusive course content, including the weekly song. Every single Friday, I upload a brand new song that is released nowhere else but in my school, because I'm leading by example. I'm showing you the power of the systems that I teach. I can predictably create a masterpiece every week because these systems are powerful. And I'm going to show them to you when you join the school. So not only do you have access to all that exclusive content, you have access to the faculty that I've built, okay? And you're getting on the ground floor. I mean, the school is like less than 20 days old at this point, but it is growing rapidly, as you'll see. This is your chance to become a foundational student of a school that is going to revolutionize the musical education system. So the link is in the description, and I will see you in class. Let's get back to the video.
All right, to drive this point home on multiple levels, I'm gonna create a progression that's diatonic to Dorian, but still a progression nonetheless. So think about it as a progression within Dorian, diatonic to Dorian, and then the moment it leaves Dorian, it goes to that one singular destination, which is the flat six, only to return back to the diatonic progression. Just to show you, you can literally have progressions within a key center, but always you can cross the line when you exit the key center. And it can be even more powerful if you've already established a harmonic rhythm within a singular tonality, because now you've set the expectation that, oh, here's the parameters of everything, and then slam right through it. That's what the flat six does, dude. Powerful stuff, kid. All right, so that's what I'm gonna do. All right, you know what? And for the sake of variation, dude, I'm gonna go ahead and compose this thing on an organ, dude. What about some grand organ, dude? Because that will literally change some of my choices, but I kind of already know exactly what's gonna happen here. We're gonna do some E flat Dorian stuff, and we're just gonna compose it like we're like literally Billy Joel or something like that. And guess what, dude? I'm gonna use the rhythm again, because I honestly think that's probably what Billy Joel would choose. So I'm gonna go 1 flat 3, and I'm just going up to the fifths here, right? Like something to articulate that 3-3-3-2-2 rhythm, right? Like doom-gan, like this thing, right? And then see how this is a progression within a singular key center, what I'm doing here, right? And the key center is Dorian. So here's something. Let's see what this sounds like. It's dynamite gold, instantaneous. And I want to set up some hard Dorian right here somehow, one way or the other. You see where it's going. Hear that? You know what I'm saying, dude? Like that. That's the call, right? Always a call and response, man. That's a separate video. Go back and watch videos. Obviously, this is a call. Hard Dorian. Hard straight up Dorian. Notice how I slam into that sixth, right? Slam into that major sixth, even though before I'm hitting up that minor third, dude. Those two are the characteristic notes of Dorian, man. It's all about that minor third slamming into the major sixth, and you know you're in Dorian, right? And you know that major sixth is going to become minor at some point, if you're like me and you're thinking ahead. So if this is the call, what might be the response? Let's just stick with classic techniques here. But this is obviously going to be twice that length. But yeah, classic techniques. It's like, I want to keep that Dorian somehow. Let's do something just a little different. Think like Billy Joel. Yeah, look at this. You ever seen some basics like this? Right, and there's your response. Do you see how that's just hardcore diatonic Dorian? So then, remember we always talk about this, first lick becomes the third lick, right? So this is the third sequence, which is aligned with the call, right? And now we hit up the flat 6. This is where it happens. And you know what the basic choice is? You literally just replace the root with the flat 6th. So that's going to be a B natural. And just keep that 5th power chord vibe, right? And now watch this. That's the flat 6 I just executed. Right? Now we need to finish the riff. We can literally just take old material. The question is, which variation do we want to take? And I'm leaning towards this one. I'm leaning towards the original one. We take the original variation like that. And that's a flawless riff. 100% flawless. All right, let's arrange this thing and take it on out, dude. Don't forget, systems for creation. Link in the description. I will say also, at this time in my YouTube career, I am able to offer one-on-one client work, okay? So you can reach out to me on Instagram, okay? That's the place, okay? Message me on Instagram. And that's where we can set up a one-on-one musical consultation, lesson, anything, dude. Pick my brain, because this is how you support the channel, okay? And of course, you can attend my school. So support me, support the content. I'm gonna keep blowing your freaking minds with basic facts, okay? Let's hear the old basic flat 6 riff all the way out here.